So as you can see, I think it's the majority says adaptability. So we have 58% of the audience are saying adaptability, and I think all may be right to a certain extent, just based on the lens that you're looking through. But I think if you look at the really core of it, it is adaptability in terms of transforming the business and adapting into something different. So the future of finance. So in this part, we wanted to give you a bit of insight into, so we talked about some of the challenges in the previous section. We talked about some of the expectation changes changing, and we talked about why those things are changing. So now the question is, what can we do as financial professionals to actually equip ourselves to be to get in front of this and to be leading the charge and helping our businesses create value. So, you know, so financial professionals of yesteryear were, focused on accuracy, ensuring financial statements are closed properly, things are reconciled, etc. So all those things are table stakes. Those things still need to happen to be able to get the right information. Now, financial professionals are expected to really understand data, right? So data literacy is a big deal. So understanding how data flows through systems, interpreting large data sets to identify trends, nuggets, and real competitive threats potentially, or focusing on things that are working extremely well to be able to double down on those things to feed it back to the business. So using visualization tools is extremely important. Things like Tableau have been around for a long time, are very robust tools as an example. Power BI is another one that's used, but there are others that are coming up that are starting to get real traction too. So this space is evolving quite fast. The expectation is shifting from producing reports to explaining what's happening in the business and what's the data telling us. So analytical analytical scenario modeling skills is extremely critical at this juncture. So forecasting and financial modeling, scenario planning and sensitivity analysis. As an example, I live in Canada, in Toronto as an example. So there's a lot of noise around tariffs, as you can imagine. And like if you're running a company here and you're manufacturing facilities, you may be asked as a financial professional, what would it cost to move our plant to the US, as an example? And what would that cost us? And how long would it take? And what is the working capital requirements? And if it is that we have the right level of information coming through data, we're able to advise our business partners like CEOs and boards a lot quicker. So technology fluency. So finance professionals are not expected to be coders or engineers or anything like that. So, there's a lot of confusion around that. Those tools are built by coders and engineers. The tools that through the lens that I believe is the right lens. We need to really understand our business and we need to identify where technology can have an impact and improve financial processes. So selecting, the right planning and analysis platforms and tools, visualization tools, and then, once the framework is ready and remapped, is like what AI enabled workflows do you use? And that is starting to get to the significant transition of the finance relationship. Um, so business partnering skills. So finance leaders really look at, finance professionals as the financial conscience and really understanding finance professionals, really understanding what's happening in the business and how, we need to be able to communicate like extremely complex issues into very, very simple takeaways for teams. I've sat in meetings where, you have really bright financial, people or professionals that are talking about a lot of different acronyms and a lot of different financial speak, so to speak. And what's happening is that we lose our audience. So the simpler we can make things, and the more, if you think of it through the lens of the takeaway, what do we need to tell the business to do? So the takeaway, and if we can distill the information and use extremely simple language as the takeaway, that's what business partnering really is. And curiosity and adaptability. The rate of change is as I mentioned before in the call, is getting faster and faster. As a financial professional, I've been in the industry for a long time, I've seen a lot of change, but the rate of change is getting faster. And curiosity and adaptability are two key characteristics to be able to keep us at the forefront and get us to ahead of get our businesses ahead of the competition. So here are 6 skills of modern finance professionals. These are 6 skills that you should have. So financial expertise, so having strong accounting fundamentals, which is again table stakes. We should all have that as CPAs. Understanding financial statements and controls, the ability to connect um, operational activities to financial outcomes. So linking what's happening in the business to what is going to be an outcome. Data literacy is extremely important, as I mentioned before. So really understanding data sets, data structure, implementing large databases. So how do you implement it and how do you extract the information to be able to get the value out of it? Analytical scenario thinking, as an example. So again, forecasting, scenario planning. So really helping the business make decisions in real time. So number 4 would be technology fluency. Again, it's like not being a coder, but really understanding the types of tools and tech that's out there to be able to use in your environment, because your environment might be different from other environments. And there are a lot of tools out there. And if you implement the wrong tool, as an example, without really understanding it, it could be quite disruptive and painful. So really being able to select and implement the right tools as a financial professional is going to be key. So understanding what's out there. Business partnership, again, is extremely important. You want to be able to communicate in a way that people understand outside of outside of the finance professionals that you're speaking to. So lay people around the table really need to be able to say, what is the takeaway, what do I need to do, and what is the message, and how do they absorb the message. And that's really the success, is like leaving the room, everybody understanding what you're saying. Adaptability and continuous learning. So again, like, the rate of change is extremely fast. So keeping current, understanding what's out there, staying curious, and really managing through change is extremely, extremely important.